welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, please do like and subscribe to my channel for more readings like this. So we're going to go through the archetypes again today and look into the runes and the tarot cards to give you some advice on a current situation that you're going through at this time. So the archetype cards help us to access a particular part of your energy at this time, so your personality. If it doesn't resonate with you, it might resonate with somebody that's on your mind right now. So if this is about a connection that you're currently in or a person that you're interested in, it might connect around that. So do hang around if any of this information seems to sound like you or somebody around you, okay? So let's pull 4 cards for the archetypes first of all. Let's see what we have. You have wounded child, artist, pioneer, and hermit. Okay, so we're going to have a look at these 4 first of all. So I'm going to have a look at the hermit one. So you may be at a point in your life right now where you kind of enjoying your solitude, maybe spending time on your own. I do feel somebody here that perhaps had a bit of a problem with feeling alone to start with, but actually you've started to get more used to being on your own. Now I do feel another collective here that may actually feel a bit like you've spent too much time on your own, and maybe when you're trying to form new connections with people, you're struggling a little bit because you've got so used to your own space, your own time, and doing things when you want to do them. And you've kind of realised that that's affecting how you are in a partnership or with other people. Okay, so yeah, you may be finding yourself withdrawing away whenever you're feeling sort of a little bit of a change around people, and you kind of withdraw, you want to spend more time on your own. But on the other side of that, it's almost like you're an introvert extrovert a little bit. So it's like you do spend a lot of time on your own, you prefer to spend time on your own sometimes, but then you also like to be the life and soul of the party. You like to be the kind of person that's out there as well. You do have a passion for doing and creating things. This is the pioneer energy. So it's like you always have an idea for something that you want to do or want to be creative with, but sometimes you don't always see through what you want to create or what you want to do. And there is this kind of need as well sometimes, like you start something but don't finish it off, and then you move on to something else. Like you constantly want to feel change, or you're constantly changing things up, and you've kind of, that's become a bit of a pattern of yours. It's like that's what you do. That kind of ties in with the artist, because you are a very creative person, and that doesn't necessarily have to mean, you know, creative in terms of drawing, writing, or anything like that. It could be any kind of art that is interesting to you. You're just very expressive, and you do like to create things. So it says here, expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the 5 senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. I do feel that you enjoy maybe poetry or reading, that kind of thing, or you just enjoy art as well. You enjoy the finer things in life, I feel, from this. And you would like to live a life of creativity, but I feel like sometimes you're not sure whether you can. You know, you kind of have an idea but then keep changing your mind on it, is what I'm getting from there. And we have here the wounded child. So a wounded child energy awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path for forgiveness. So your shadow attributes can be just dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resisting moving on through forgiveness. So there may be the reason why you do the things that you do, perhaps not sticking with something or moving on quite swiftly, and the reason that you like to be on your own sometimes could be because of this childhood wounding. Now I do believe we all have some form of wounding from childhood, because it's where we kind of like moulding our ego at that point in life, and there is even the smallest, slightest thing that could have happened to you as a child that could create some form of wound. It could be as simple as like an adult shouting at you, and that's kind of like, it kind of places part of your soul into like a bit of a shock bubble sometimes. And it's not until you get older and you're in the arena and you're in the middle of something where a similar situation happens that you realise, actually, that really got to me, that really upset me. And it's because of the experiences that we have as children. But in this circumstance, it actually has awoken with you your compassionate side. You're a very compassionate person, especially towards children. I do feel that you are a person that already has children. Or if not, you definitely desire children or work with children. So let's get into your runes then. What do we have for you with your runes? Let's see. What runes do we have for you? We have Yera, so moving through cycles of natural growth. So I do feel somebody here is kind of in a space of, you are learning about yourself constantly. And I feel like this past year especially, you've really learned so much about yourself now. You're really understanding who you are and what your needs are, what you want from life, how you want your life to be, what you want to do. It's been a slow process and it's still in the process, I feel, but you're starting to really understand how maybe things from the past are affecting your present and ultimately your future, and you're working towards repairing that within yourself and really getting to know yourself on a deeper level. Yeah, and because of that, you kind of access this inner wealth within you. It's like you are starting to see your life as rich. You're starting to understand actually the simplest of things really do bring you joy, bring you happiness, make you feel safe. And you're bringing that for yourself. Before, maybe in the past, you've looked externally for that through parents, siblings, family, relationships, partners, or even friendships. But now you're kind of realizing, I can only access that through myself. You're starting to be really grateful for everything that you have in your life and realizing, actually, I've brought that to myself. I've created this life for myself. And if you don't feel like you've got enough, or, I actually sense somebody that used to have quite a high-powered position or job kind of thing, and you've kind of taken something that doesn't have quite that power anymore, perhaps doesn't pay as much anymore, but actually the simplicity of it brings you much more fortune, much more richness and joy in your life. So that's good. I like that. So let's see what else we have on here. Manas, this one keeps coming out lately. So this is about your awareness of yourself in the world and what you bring, your gifts. You do bring a lot of positivity. All of the observations that you've been doing on yourself is for a reason. You're working through the masks that you've worn through your life, and you're starting to realize why those masks were there in the first place, why you need to understand when it's necessary to wear this mask and when it isn't. It's important not to disregard things that we go through in life. We can't feel rejecting of experience that we've had or the type of person that we had to be for particular situations. These are all our masks. This is our shape shifting through life. And there's times where we need to wear those same masks again in certain situations. There's ones where you kind of maybe need to withdraw. There's ones where you maybe need to be the leader, stand up more. There's ones where you perhaps need to be more light-hearted, and ones where it's, perhaps need to be a bit defensive. All of them are necessary, and the work that you've been doing isn't about hiding those aspects of yourself anymore. It's more embracing the positive aspects of them and understanding why they're necessary and why they're part of you. And that is shadow work. That is what truly shadow work is integrating those parts back in and being like, it's okay to be this way, it's okay to be me fully. And that's where I feel like you've got yourself too. It's like you're really realizing, like, actually, this is me, this is who I am. Now, there's a story I could tell you on that about sort of like if you go to a different country, you're traveling around or something like that, and you go to a place where they don't speak your language, maybe the temperature's a lot different to what you're used to, the food is different to what you're used to, maybe you've had a tummy bug or you haven't felt very good. Now, you may have gone to this place to experience culture, to experience something new. Maybe, say, for instance, if it was a Buddhist country and you were into Buddhism at the time, you'd go there and you'd be expecting an experience, okay? But sometimes the experience that you get actually makes you realise how fortunate you are in the place where you came from, okay? So I suppose what I'm telling you there or saying there is that through the experiences we have in life, we kind of realise actually, you know, I was quite happy with that. I just didn't see it before because I was looking for something else. So when we sit in the present moment and we observe ourselves from where we are, it's okay to go and have experiences. It's okay to go and do things and try new things. But we always have to come back to what we have, okay? We always have to come back to what we have. Yeah, and we take it from there. So let's get into this and see what we have for you with the cards. Woo. So what is your current situation right now? Whoa. What is your current situation? What's happening for you? Oh, okay. So right now you might be going through a little bit of heartbreak. You may be feeling a little bit hurt. Maybe there's pain here in the heart. This could be grief. You know, for some of you, I feel like this could actually be due to a loss. Not sure if it's loss of a person particularly, but loss in maybe in a sense of a relationship. You're having to let go of a particular situation or person, and that's kind of hitting you hard a little bit. It's hurting just a tad on there, okay? You had to take a chance. Ooh, and you knew that that chance, it was almost like a tarot, wasn't it there? It's like, whoop, like a landslide. It's like, oh, what's that song? Fleetwood Mac, Landslide, yeah? It's kind of like you've come to a point in your life where you've started to realise actually what is important. What the lyrics in that song is like, I'm getting older too. You know, children get older, I'm getting older too. Don't know why that lyric popped in there. That's Stevie Nicks, isn't it? So it's like, children get older, I'm getting older too. And the landslide brings me down. So it's, I do feel that you are reminiscing over something and you feel in that energy of like, I need to stop doing this to myself. I need to let go of what is bringing me pain here. I almost got a little bit emotional there actually. What is the challenge here on this? What is the challenge? Let me see. What is the challenge? The challenge here is the ability to see how letting this go brings a new beginning. You're not seeing that at the moment because it feels like a trauma bond almost. I'm going to say that word. It's like you feel bonded to this particular situation or person here, and letting go of it kind of means freeing up some space, and that scares you. I feel that makes you feel shaky, vulnerable. It's been a comfort zone, even though it hasn't been a healthy comfort zone for you, and you're starting to realise, I need to really release that comfort zone because actually it ain't that comfortable anymore. You made that choice. You have made that choice. You are sick of sitting in the illusion of this now, and you understand, you realise and recognise what it is that needs to happen here. What do you need to focus on? What is it that you need to focus on? You need to focus on your power. You need to focus on standing in your power, playing the game for you, playing your own game, understanding the game, and realising what you need to do for you, not for anybody else, not for any other circumstances. And this is part of the shadow work that you've done. You've realised how maybe your pride has kind of pushed you into directions where it's been about how it looks on the outside, how it looks to other people. But now you're realising actually it's more about how I feel in here, how I feel in my life, how I feel, just how I feel. Yeah. And I read something today about, it's called Let Them. And someone had a tattoo on their hand that just said let them. And it's like, you need to be authentically you. Let them hate you. Let them abandon you. Let them do whatever the fuck they want. Because at the end of the day, this is about you and your journey only. Okay? And anybody or anything that is authentic on that path with you will stay. It will be seen. But right now you're breaking that illusion and realizing actually, if this doesn't suit me, then I need to protect myself from it. I need to make sure I'm protecting myself fully from this. Okay, so that I can stand truly in my power and be like, this is the life that I created for myself. There's no resentment in a situation like that. No resentment whatsoever. Okay, what are you letting go of? That's interesting. You've got the star for what you're letting go of. So this could be something that you thought, you put a thought in your head that this was something that you manifested, that you've been hoping for, wishing for. You put a lot of effort, and that's why you're struggling to let it go, because you put so much effort, investment, intention into this, that it's really difficult to let go of because of that. But actually, in holding on to it, you are blocking the hope for something much better. Okay, you've been so hopeful, and you were at the time so hopeful that this was it, because I feel somebody here wants a long-term thing, and you thought you had that, and you invested time, energy, money, whatever into it, only to realize actually it wasn't right. It wasn't for you. And that's the harsh reality about it. So it's kind of like slowed you down a little bit. You know, you're feeling like you need to wave the white flag almost of like, I give up. But don't give up just yet. Let's see what your strengths are. Your strengths are friendships. There is somebody, I feel, another party in your life that actually will bring you that wish fulfillment, that does bring you more than you realise. Maybe you've met this person, maybe you haven't yet. But in letting this go, you will realise that actually there is way more to hope for. There is way more for you than that. Holding on to that is like just smashing your head against the wall 50 more times just to see if it does still hurt. Why would you want to do that? When you already know what it does for you, when you already know what the outcome is, why would you do that? There's something much more for you. And I feel like you know what that is. Now, number 4 is significant in this for some reason. Even though this is the 3 of Cups, the number 4 just popped into my head as being significant. And that could be a house number, it could be a number of the month, it could be anything significant to you. Okay, but 4 is significant on this. Strength in numbers. I'm getting on that one. What is the future of this? The future's showing something that you've walked away from is actually trying to send a message to you, is kind of connecting with you, or you're trying to understand something more from the past that you walked away from. There is a message here, almost like somebody messaging, like you're going to receive a message from this person, maybe asking for your help, or wanting to gain some kind of knowledge is what I'm feeling. It's like there's something that you walked away from, and it feels very restless. It feels like it's not over, it's not done. And that's in the back of your mind, and it could be to do with where your strengths lie with this one. Okay, So it's something that I feel you will receive a message about, or you will find some form of contact with. There's some information that you're going to obtain that's going to help you to understand what that is. And that's showing up as the future. So what is that about? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah, something that you kind of, I feel did hurt you to walk away from, and you've been kind of in a recovery since that point, but it's never really left your mind, and there's been some form of information about this that's come to you and some kind of message. You might or may not know what that is. If you want to look into this deeper, then please do get in touch for a personalised reading, because this is a collective reading, so I can't go too deep into it because it's different for everybody. There's somebody I'm picking up on here that's hopefully resonating with you. So what advice do we have for you at this time? What is the advice I can give you? Okay. So we've got here about flexibility, being the ability to be flexible and have balance. So this is obtaining balance in your work life, in your home life, you know, making sure that you aren't tipping over the edge in one direction too far, because you're cutting yourself off from an experience here that actually could do you some good, I feel. Something about dancing. I see somebody dancing, maybe putting some music on and dancing about. That's when you know you're really enjoying yourself, really spending some time enjoying and having a laugh. You need to have some fun and be flexible with it, is what I'm getting. That's the advice. I mean, when the advice is to have fun, geez, there's some good advice there, isn't it? Let's have a look at your environment right now. What's going on with your environment? Okay, now in your environment, it feels like you are working on yourself, maybe meditating. You're really deeply observing and working through these shadow aspects and integrating them so well. You're realizing, actually, these are parts of me that I need to honor and respect and understand. That's a part of me. I don't need to reject it. Now, part of your environment, though, is kind of showing up that there's a fear around what people are going to think. And people have tried to counsel you in how you should be living or what you should be doing. And I feel like you're the kind of person that's stubborn enough when people try and do that, you're like, I'm going to go the other way. You need to make sure you're living your life for you and doing the things that feel right for you, you know. That stairway, you are walking up there, okay? Buying that stairway to heaven. So you're sort of realizing what is waiting for you. It's just getting up those steps, isn't it? And the journey that that's going to take. So get the courage, get the bravery, make sure you do it. What are your hopes and fears right now? What's your hopes and fears? I'm going to do that all over again. So hopes and fears, let's see. Oh, I can't keep shuffling that, my arm's killing. Let's have a look. Hopes and fears. Okay, so there's good fortune with this. So there doesn't look like there's a lot of fear, if I'm honest, because what they're telling you is that it's all going to be good. It's all going to be amazing. There's good news coming in for you. There is no need to fear. And it's quite fast as well. So I feel like this is all going to happen a lot sooner than you realise. And I feel like this could be within like the next 8 days that this all starts to take place. Once you decide enough is enough here, I'm sick of this heartbreak, I need to move away from this, and you start to move towards what actually makes you feel better, what makes you feel good, that new beginning, opening yourself up to that, having fun, enjoying yourself, it's fast. It's very, very fast. And it brings a conclusion as well. You're going to find a real conclusion to what you thought, you know, where you thought you were heading, and actually realising, when I club together in this direction, everything seems right. Everything seems fun and good and happy. So what is your outcome on here? Surrender and taking a new perspective. You are entering into a completely new chapter of your life. Things aren't going to look the same or even be the same ever again. You're changing things. I don't normally get this with this one, but I'm seeing somebody, it's almost like aerial yoga or doing something to do with the back, like stretching out. Please do some of that for me because I can't move right now. You know, but just really expressing and enjoying and breathing, you know, taking those deep breaths, doing things that you wouldn't normally be doing and enjoying that, really, really enjoying that, you know, being as expressive as possible in your life, because you've been so restricted for some time now. You're starting to realise, I don't need to restrict myself anymore. I don't need to do that. I can move away from that. There's something about cotton as well. I don't know if somebody has been sewing or knitting or something. Or taking up a hobby like that, or just, I can see somebody winding like cotton or something around something, and pulling it tight, like a reel with cotton going around it. So if that's significant to you, yeah, but things are going really, really well for you. I know you're going through this at the moment, but it's short term, okay? You will make it through. You've done so much work on yourself. Don't stop now. Keep going. So I'm going to leave this reading here for you now. If you would like a personalised reading, then please do get in touch. My details are down in the description box, and I'll see you all very soon. Have a blessed day.